There is the this is the summer session. So for this is the weather is the world of water in the outside. So I the set up all the necessary thing. So firstly, I want to introduce for the audience. I again before I say it, I have a YouTube channel. I after the finish the interview, I'll share the all the interview session. So firstly, I introduce your whole career or your whole profile. I just took your profile from the Wikipedia, collect the data. So you are the very famous person. I know you the just former prime minister and the former syndicator. So as a proud moment, I connect to with you and the conversation between with you. So firstly, sir, I will start the meeting. So firstly, I introduce you in front of my audience, Sir Robert Buckland MP. He is the MP of the South Sweden, and he was the former Secretary of the State for Wales, and also he was the Secretary for State for Justice, Lord Chancellor, Minister of State for Prison and Probation, and also the former Justice Minister, Solicitor General for England and Wales, and he was the specializing in criminal law. So welcome, Sir Robert Buckland, to my interview session. How was the day?
Well, I've been busy here in Swindon meeting local residents and discussing issues of concern to them, and going to meet local groups as well. And later on I'll be speaking to a local association of residents as well. So a busy day here in Swindon as usual.
So, sir, initially I asked you, I just saw the Wikipedia, I took from the data. Sir, you were awarded the Grassroots Diplomat in the Initiative Award and the Politician of the Year Award. How can achieve of this valuable award, and what was the experience when you received it? Can you explain
Well,
for the...
It was a great, yes, it's a few years back now. It was a very great honour to receive the award, and it was all about my work to support children and young people with special educational needs, particularly people with disabilities who need special help in school. And I've worked for many years in my community to help that, and I continue to do so on issues like autism and other types of disability. And it's a great pleasure, it was a great honour for me to receive that award.
I just totally, I only before, I totally study with you. Just collect all your achievement and which part you active in the real-time situation. So I prepare some question for about you for the audience. So what has the interest you from a legal or non-legal perspective in the legal process, the resulting from the UK referendum of the Brexit? Can I repeat it again?
I missed some of it, so I missed the end of it.
Firstly, I start initially. Firstly, what has the interest you from a legal or non-legal perspective in the legal process resulting from the UK referendum on Brexit? Can you explain that? Can you hear me?
Oh yes, well, the Brexit referendum back in 2016 raised a lot of legal questions. I was in favour of remaining in the EU, but when the decision had been made, it seemed to me to be right to try and make sure that the legal process was as smooth as possible. And I worked to pass laws here in the UK to try and make sure that whilst we were leaving the EU, we didn't create a situation where our law was uncertain or unclear. So there was a lot of debate here in Parliament, in which I was deeply involved in helping to pass the necessary law. And it continues to be of interest. We continue to have debates about this, particularly around Northern Ireland most recently, and I continue to play my part in trying to ensure that as sensible an outcome is reached, and that we achieve stability for the people. Because if law is clear, then that will affect people's lives. So it's important that we get it right, and that's what I will continue to try and help with.
Thank you for the interesting information for the audience. So second question is, are you able to show the understanding of the independence of the judiciary, the rule of law and the separation of the power?
Yes, well, it's really important that the judges, the judiciary, are working independently from government and are not under any pressure or any improper interference from politicians. And I think here in Britain, we have world-leading judges. When I was Lord Chancellor, it was my responsibility to defend their interests, which I did robustly on a number of occasions. The tensions usually came because of Brexit and some of the difficult politics surrounding it, but I am very confident in our system here in the UK of checks and balances, that the independence of our judiciary is second to none. And we don't appoint judges because of any political views they may have. We appoint judges because of their excellence in interpreting the law. And I think that has to be the heart of judicial appointment. And certainly when I was Lord Chancellor, that's what I worked very hard to maintain and strengthen. And if we lose that, then we really lose the rule of law, I think.
Thank you for that pretty interesting the information. So third question is where there were allegations that the judge were the straining into the politics and the policy. Do you think the judge maintain their independence or freedom in their case? How could you support your argument?
Well, I think here in Britain, I think it would be wrong to say that the judges are trying to or actually straying into politics and policy. They don't want to be doing that. That's not their role. Their role is to interpret the law that is passed by democratic institutions and to respect the sovereignty of Parliament. And I have to say, I think that the United Kingdom Supreme Court and the current members of the court are very respectful of that. In some of their most recent judgments, you get a real sense that is fully reflected in what they do and think. And therefore, I'm more confident than I've been for quite a few years in the ability of the judiciary to move away from the sort of decision-making process that does mean that a political view, if you like, or political dimension could be seen as coming into their decision making. It's particularly difficult with the Human Rights Act and the Convention on Human Rights to avoid that sometimes. But I think our English and Welsh and British judiciary are doing a very good job of keeping politics out of the courts.
So thank you for the kind information. I saw the news 1 week before the share from your Facebook page, the Sir Buckland, Robert Buckland, the Facebook page, a news the share, a major step for the South Sweden. So what major step for take these cities?
Sorry, I missed the end of the question there. Sorry.
Can I repeat again? So 1 week before, share from your Facebook page a news like that, a major step for your area, for the southern city. So I just want to know what major step takes from these cities. What is your plan for these cities?
Well, Swindon is a growing town in the south of England. We have many communities here, including, may I say, a very active Bangladeshi community, which I'm very proud to represent. And I've got many friends in the community who I get together with regularly. And I am always working to try and increase investment into our wonderful town. And only last week, we had the news of the go-ahead for a major industrial development of over £7 billion sterling into the site of what once was the Honda car-making plant, which closed 4 years ago, much to our dismay, but which will now be the site of even more jobs. Many thousands of new jobs will come to Swindon as a result of this important new development. So that's why I described it as a big step forward for our town. And I hope to carry on working to make sure that we get even more investment in the years ahead.
Yeah, that is good. I also see the some 1 or 2 days ago just wishes the Pohela Boishak from your Facebook page, and many Bangladeshi community living here, and always the Bangladeshi people support your encouragement and the deserve the and occasion the all every year you support your and variety of the culture. So it is the very good thing for your party or conservative party and your community as a leader. So, and another question, and a few days ago, I saw the news you mentioned here, and a interview, victim of the crime must know that their voice will be heard. So, why the important the victim know their voice?
Well, that's all about the sad cases of the abuse of sometimes children
Yeah,
in certain communities, and this happens, I think, all too often in different parts of the country, perpetrated by different communities, and we've got to be we've got to be honest about it, and we've got to make sure that the victims are heard. In other words, we don't just ignore what they say and brush it under the carpet and pretend it hasn't happened.
yeah.
We take it seriously, we follow the evidence, and we prosecute the wrongdoers so that justice is done. It's very important that we continue to do that in this country so that we can stamp out and hopefully prevent abuse from happening, because it's a horrific crime, and the public is rightly outraged by it, and that's why I think it's important that people like me stand up for victims and make sure that their voice is heard.
Yeah. So I just little bit confused here, but you clearly all of the things. So that is very helpful for me and other audience. So it is a very good thing. And next question in my mind, what do you regard as the most undemocratic part of the UK constitution?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Did you mean what the part that I admire the most, or what is that what you mean?
What undemocratic part of the UK constitution?
Well, as you know, the UK constitution is unwritten.
Yeah.
It consists of many traditions and conventions. It also consists of legislation passed by Parliament, the rules of Parliament, and institutions like the judiciary, the monarchy, and indeed our civil service as well. And I think that it works very, very well, even though it is not written down, even though it's not actually, strictly speaking, a full separation of powers constitution. It's instead, it has separate parts that respect each other and seek to acknowledge each other's role and do not seek, as we were talking earlier, to try and encroach upon the role of the other part of the constitution. And although, it's not necessarily in one sense the most logical place to start, I think the fact that we've developed it and evolved the constitution means that it is very robust and is, I think, better than having a set of rules that will often become quite out of date. Look at the US Constitution and the way it was written at a time of slavery. Some of it looks absurdly out of date, bearing in mind 250 years have gone by. So I don't think we want to have that sort of situation in the UK.
Oh, that is a good advice or good information for me. I really cannot understand what you explain, but you explain the good way. So it is the very I will be capable, the properly understood what is the undemocratic part of the UK constitution. So, and how resilient is the UK political system to the Black Swan event with extreme impact, the economic disaster and the climate change?
I would say that I think our systems are pretty resilient. I think, like other parts of the world, we're facing huge challenges in terms of how we meet our obligations to decarbonise, and what that means for the competitiveness of industry or cost to the consumer. I mean, we're lucky here in the UK in that we have a lot of natural resources at a time when parts of the world are really struggling with food production. This country can produce. I don't think we necessarily produce enough. And I think the big challenge for the UK is to become much more self-sufficient in energy and in food. And we talk now about food security and energy security so that we can be less vulnerable to some of the price increases that have meant that energy prices are high at the moment in the UK and food prices have gone up by 20%, which is a very high rate for us here in Britain. So these are real problems here and now, but I believe that this country has the resources to deal with that challenge and to grow out more of our own food and become just that little bit more resilient when it comes to the world crisis that you mentioned.
So that is the pretty interesting answering question, and you also mentioned here a lot of the information. It is the very relevant issue in the recent time, and we also face the lot of the problem. Every country faces the lot of the problem. Not only the UK and every developed undeveloped country that faces that UK development is quietly good, and just you mentioned here. So, and next question is here: is reforming UK coming from the conservative votes?
Is the what? Sorry.
Is reform UK coming for a conservative vote because you leading the Conservative Party?
Yes, I look. I think you'd always have small groups who will be on the either wing, like the more extreme on the left, more extreme on the right. I don't think that it has the same power that Nigel Farage and UKIP had, in that they haven't got a big campaign to get behind. And of course the campaign that they pushed was Brexit, which that was a very powerful campaign to run on. I don't think it feels the same, and I think that ultimately, whilst I always listen to different voices and respect the people in my constituency who have concerns, I think ultimately, if you want to stop a Labour government and want to avoid the left from taking power, then vote Conservative. That's what people should do, and that's what I think people must do in the next election. Because a vote for the Reform Party is a wasted vote in our system. You won't get any MPs elected, and all it does is split the vote and help the Labour Party, in my view.
So thank you for the kind information. And the next question is arose my mind. What the plan do you have for the fulfilling the election the promises? So if you when any city of the your community, you give the lot of promises for the community people. So I want to just here ask you, what plan do you have for the fulfilling the election promises? What is your strategies for the community?
Well, I mean, as I'm no longer in government, it's going to be up to Rishi Sunak to fulfil the promises made. And some of them we've done a lot. So in my area of justice, brought forward all the reforms to sentences that we said we were going to do. We worked hard to make sure that we reformed the law of judicial review. If I was the Prime Minister, I'd be looking again at the manifesto and making sure that all the promises within it, the ones that are still deliverable, this is before COVID, can be and must be delivered by 2024. In different departments, ministers have been working do that by passing laws and getting the reforms through that we said we were going to do. So I will continue as a backbencher to support that and continue to help deliver investment into Swindon that I've worked hard and campaigned on, so that we can see the results in better roads, a better town centre, and more high-skilled jobs, which are so important to our local economy. So I've just got to carry on doing the work that I've been enjoying for the last 13 years.
So thank you. So an interesting question for you. It is not a personal. Have you ever been involved in political outside of voting? And what was your experience like?
Well, in politics outside of voting.
Yeah.
Well, I've been an MP for 13 years, and
Yeah.
for a long time I wasn't, but I was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
campaigner, and I worked very hard within the party to help other people get elected, and
Yeah.
stood myself before. I didn't win, when I first stood, but I was a local councillor
Yeah.
in Wales
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the 1990s,
Yeah, yeah.
and therefore I've had a lot of experience
Yeah, yeah.
of politics out there in the community,
Yeah.
and that's what I brought, I think, to
Yeah.
my role as MP here in Swindon
Yeah.
in 2010 when I finally did get elected. So
Yeah.
I've seen politics from various different angles,
Yeah.
and I've been very privileged to
Yeah, yeah.
be able to have served in the way that I have.
So pretty interesting for your answer. So do you think in this time we need the political revolution? Because it is the very important aspect of the all of the country. How to evolution in your own idea? The political evolution and political revolution.
Evolution. Well, I like evolution. I don't like revolution.
Yeah, yeah.
I must say, revolution tends to produce
Yeah, yeah.
some bad consequences. I think
Yeah.
a political evolution
Yeah, yeah.
that I think one of the challenges about politics now is that a lot of people are put off because of social media,
Yeah, yeah.
and they don't like some of the nasty aggression
Yeah,
that
yeah.
politicians face
Yeah, yeah.
on that. And I also think that with that, politics has become a much more difficult
Yeah, yeah.
walk of life, and people are just not electing to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
People
yeah.
of quality are not coming forward.
Yeah.
I don't have an easy answer for that, but all I do know
Yeah.
is that I came into politics to do things,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get things done. I didn't come into politics to be somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm very proud to think back of all the laws that I helped pass and all the changes I
Yeah,
brought
yeah.
through to the probation service, the prison service, and the court service.
Yeah.
That is, I think we've got to remind ourselves
Yeah.
that politics is about doing.
Yeah, yeah.
And the more we can get that across, I think the more quality
Yeah.
will come forward and want to be part of
Yeah.
something greater than them, and
Yeah.
a noble endeavour
Yeah.
to improve the condition of the people. That's what politics should be about.
Yeah.
A noble endeavour. That's certainly been my experience.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been privileged to do so.
Yeah, that is the pretty interesting answer. So last question on the through all of the interview, just it is a one perception view about this question. If you could the change one aspect of the UK politics, what would it be and why? How to be solve this problem and how to change the UK politics system? If you could the change one aspect of the UK politics, that's my question is here. What would it be and why?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Very good question. I think I would. This is what I would do. I would make MPs, not
Yeah.
ministers, but MPs, devote more of their time to international politics. It's very easy as an MP to become wrapped up in your own area, and you've got to do the work of the constituency MP. But equally important are international affairs. Those things, I think, are increasingly not being focused upon by MPs here in Britain, and we need to widen our horizons. Because, challenges like AI, climate, these things require international cooperation. And the older I get, the more experienced I get, the more I know that MPs shouldn't have a luxury of choice. They should get to know the world in which they live better and engage with politicians from other countries. And we might find that the solutions we come up with are all the more robust because of that.
So thank you all of the discussion, and I would be honored because you are the great person. You invited in my interview, and it is my honor. It is not an easy thing for you connect it, and many other when I the flyer advertising the share on my Facebook page. Many other questions. How could we connect you? And this is the very interesting guy. and always they appreciate. And when see the interview, then would be more appreciating your work and know about your the quality and your leadership. And you the leading all of the UK, not only UK, and you also the represent your community. So it is my honor to connect with you, and thank you for the timing with you. And you are the very busy person, I know.
Thank you. Well, safe journey, and I'd love
Yeah.
to see you.
And also, and my honorable MP sir, I also the share you. And today and next today, our Eid vacation. So Eid Mubarak. It is our the whole of the year. The two Eid we faces. The one is coming. So for this, I wishes Eid Mubarak and be safe. Last of the enter the conversation, I just took some the screenshot for this the advertising or the something like that. Can you do that?
What would you like me to say?
Screenshot, just the photo session part, because the online session, I just take the some screenshot. Just we standing here, I just took some the picture for the whole of the session. This picture is the would be very clear. So I just took the two or three. So I am also just not introduce myself. I also the little writer. I also the wrote of the book. I also shared your Facebook page. A chat of daily full stories bells. The available on Amazon. And also write something the article in the international newspaper, and also the connect the more you are renowned person and the valuable person in our all over the universe. So in my view, you are the very famous. So for this reason, I will try to the connect with you. So it is my honor. Thank you very much for the joining us.
Well, thank you, and have a happy Eid, and good to see you.
Good to see you. So next time we will discuss when you free any other interesting topic and the specific topic. So I would be I would be the welcome all time. I should thanks my hardest because you respond immediately. It is not a easy thing. So it is very warm welcome for me. So thank you, Mr. Honorable MP sir. So bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
अरे मीठा ले भी यारी चलो वो काटा नहीं